Two guys in their early 50s with one dream: to achieve middle-aged sporting glory. This is the Missing Links Golf Show. Andy Walker, welcome back. And here we are once again at the sports desk for the Missing Links Golf Show.
Yes, and I think quite a exciting episode. Certainly it is for me this evening. Get to talk about all the new stuff that I've got in the High Performance Centre, and stuff that's well, most of it, if not all of it, is working really, really well, which I'm really excited to talk about.
It's very exciting. I love a High Performance Centre story. I really do.
Yeah, and it's not just one bit of kit. It's a number of.
It's a kit out.
Yeah, it is. It is a bit of a kit out.
Which it's very cool.
Yeah, I'm a bit pumped about.
Here's a high performance story for you. High Performance Centre story for you, Andy Walker. Just kick off with a tangent, because why not?
Because that's what we do.
Yeah. So lovely wife and I were walking the dog the other day around the local streets. Just sort of through the other side of the golf course, and a new house that's been built, which is an absolute monster of a property.
Yeah, right.
Backs onto the golf course, which is nice. Not only have they built it on one block of land, but they've bought two side-by-side blocks of land with golf course frontage. So there's a little bit of coin thrown around here.
Nice if you can.
One of the blocks they've used to build the house, and the block next to it they've used to build this awesome tennis court, multi-sport setup with lights and, you know, like a viewing area and the pool next to it and the whole thing. And we're walking past, just commenting on how amazing it was. And my lovely wife turned to me and said, like, that, look at that. That's like a full-on high performance centre if you're into tennis.
Yep.
And I went, yes, it is. And I thought, how good is it that this vernacular is just sliding into everyday life?
It is. It is.
You know, no longer do you have a tennis court in the backyard / next door block, but you've got a tennis high performance centre. So if you own that property and you're listening to the Missing Links Golf Show, which, let's be honest, is possible because you're backing onto the golf course. Firstly, great job. House looks amazing. Secondly, looking forward to the invite. I don't mind a game of tennis every now and then, and probably we could look at, you know, putting some practice facilities in there as well. So, you know, give us a shout.
See, it's. I find it rather amusing that you find it's such a great setup, because I, on the other hand, would view that as a complete misallocation of resources.
I mean, it is that, in fairness.
Given you're backing onto a golf course and you've put effectively a tennis high performance centre in there, I mean...
Yeah, I mean, I would like to be honest with you, I would have liked to have seen a short game area and a simulator.
Perfect.
Would have been good, but there's no reason why you can't, you know, add some of that setup to the tennis court, you know. That, I think that's achievable, and it's got lights. It's lit too, so evening practice sessions out there would be.
Yeah. So you've got, and I've seen the outdoor synthetic golf greens where you've got full on bunkers and
that would be the
they
go.
just look. Yeah, that looks awesome. And like, why would you put a tennis court when you could put a short game?
Yeah, no, it's a good point. It's a good point. So let me rephrase that. If you're listening, which it's possible that you are, we don't know who you are, you're anonymous at this point in time. If you're listening, then sort yourselves out. Like, honestly, what's the go with tennis?
My point exactly.
What's the go with tennis? It's a good way to tear a hamstring, is what it is.
It is, actually.
And having done that a couple of years ago.
Especially when we're this side of 50, tennis isn't necessarily the best sport to be playing
fair point in time. Fair point. Get rid of the tennis court, keep the lights, keep the fencing, create some kind of a short game extravaganza, high performance centre. Utilise the back bungalow for, you know, maybe a simulator room.
Yeah, I agree.
And then give me a call.
That's my point exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Well done. We got there in the end. So there's that. Probably the next thing to do is to move on to a little bit of Voice of the Pilgrims, Andy Walker.
Voice of the Pilgrims. Yeah, we haven't done Voice of the Pilgrims for a little while, so let's have that.
Been a bit remiss. There has been a bit. So our good friend Lucas Anderson, you might recall.
Lucas, yep.
A couple of episodes ago, we did talk about Lucas had put his money where his mouth is and entered into an amateur tournament, hoping to get into the field. We talked in that episode how proud we were of Lucas from Western Australia for doing that. And subsequently, he got in contact with us and he said, "Hi, gents. Thank you for the mention on the last episode. Just a quick one. I'm actually from South Australia. Not sure where we got the Western Australia from." Well, Lucas, I can tell you where we got that from, and it was absolutely nothing to do with you. It was me not doing my research well enough and just plucking something out of the air whilst we were recording. So apologies for getting the state wrong. South Australia, big fan.
Unlike you to do that.
Yeah, I know.
You're usually a well-researched individual.
I am. I actually think what it was on the scorecards that the guys send through for the yearly championship, I think I looked at the flag on that, just a very tiny little version of the flag, and may have just
thought it was WA.
May have got that one wrong.
Does the WA flag, it's got a swan on it, does it?
Last I checked, it did.
Yeah. I think I've got that picture in my head of because I was actually born in WA. I was born in the good city of Perth.
No way.
Yeah, I was.
How about that?
I was born in St Anne's Hospital in Mount Lawley, which is now not called it's not called St Anne's Hospital anymore. I think it's called like Mercy Hospital or something like that. I went over there a number of years ago, probably 20 odd years ago, when I played in the Australian Amateur over there, and went and saw the old stomping ground and where I took my first breath of air on this earth. Well, I don't know about steps because I think I was still pretty young when I moved back to New South Wales.
Well, you were born at a very young age, weren't you?
I was born at a very young age. Yeah. And I wasn't walking at that point.
I actually heard that.
I was swinging.
I actually heard that the birth was quite traumatic for you. You didn't even speak for about a year afterwards.
That is true. Yeah. It's true. Yeah.
And is it true?
Few mumblings and murmurings and stuff.
Is it true that you were also born with no kneecaps, and that your skull wasn't fully fused at that point?
I know that my skull wasn't fully fused. I didn't know about the kneecaps though. Really?
Check it out.
There you go. Wow.
Yeah.
Don't have kneecaps when you're born.
No. Don't.
Or was it that just I didn't and everyone else does?
No, I don't think that you're unusual in that particular instance, but far out, Pilgrims. That's a tangent.
Anyway. So Perth. Actually looking forward to going back to Perth. I'd love to get back to Perth and play some of those great golf courses there. There's a lot of really good golf courses over there.
There are. I'm a big fan. And to be honest with you, I would have suggested that you catch up with Lucas whilst you're over in Perth.
But he's not there.
But he's not there because he's from South Australia. So,
mind you, some great golf courses in Adelaide as well. I've played a few of them There's sort of Royal Adelaide is a. I haven't been to the Grange, to be honest with you. So I've played Royal Adelaide. I could never get my head around Royal Adelaide. Great golf course, but just never played well there. Kooyonga I've played. Glenelg I've played. So yeah, some of the good golf courses I've played over there, but never the Grange. I'd love to get to the Grange though.
You know, Glenelg is interesting because it's actually Glen, but one of the Glens is backwards. I've got him on that one, Pilgrim. I've got him. It's a true story, though.
Oh, wow. Okay. I've never actually looked at it that way.
Not thought too deeply about that.
No.
I hadn't either until I was talking to my young bloke about it, and this is straight from the mind of a 12-year-old, and that's what he pointed out. It's fantastic.
Excellent.
He's got a big future. He's a very big future. Anyway, Lucas goes on to say,
"G'day, Lucas."
We'll get through. It's a long message as well.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Don't make me laugh. Lucas gets on to say, but anyway, I did get into the event. Congratulations. That is magnificent.
Awesome.
He squeezed into the event, ranked 49 out of 50 with a 13
That is a
handicap
squeeze.
rounding out the field. But hey, you know what?
Nice.
Who cares? You're in the field. You deserve it.
Yeah,
You've earned it. So well done.
For sure.
He says, for some reason, they decided to put the two highest handicappers off the first tee. He was originally scheduled to go off the 10th, but they put him down on the first as first group. And he says, I was first man to tee off in the entire field. Pretty bloody nervous, but managed to hit the fairway and laid up to a good wedge distance and stuck it to 8 feet, lipped out for birdie, but a tap-in par on the first. And there is really nothing better than that in tournament golf, other than the birdie putt going in, of course.
That's really good because, I mean, what did you do when you like teed off first and
sprayed one in way left, massive high block into the trees, and then I hit about 75 trees coming out of there and made double. So well done, Lucas. He says from there, things went downhill. Oh, that's disappointing. However, I finished ranked 42, so I achieved my goal of beating my starting rank.
Nice.
He then says, you mentioned comp golf has a different feel. I honestly didn't feel that different. Maybe I wasn't focused enough. I'm not sure that that's it. He said, what I did notice was I played a practice round the week before. I went to the range 2 times that week, even putted at the venue the night before. I think I tried too hard to prepare, if that makes any sense. At the range, I was hitting shanks with irons and the swing felt horrible. Played the Saturday before and had a bad round. May have been better for me to not play and come in with some form. I'd be interested in knowing your thoughts on the prep side of things, and I think that is a good question. So one very quick thought, when I go back to the New South Wales Country Championships, the round before the Country Championships, the week before, I played at Wentworth Club in Orange, and I had one of the worst rounds that I played in a long time. We actually did an episode on this when we were talking, when it was Crisis of Confidence before the round in Parks, and I actually had a really good round in the first round of the Country Champs down in Parks. So there could be something to be said for having a bad round and getting that out of the way. Maybe it adjusts your expectations, Andy Walker, a little bit when you come in, rather than coming and playing your best golf and you just expect it's going to be great on the day.
Well, I guess the question's got to be asked. If golf is a series of unrelated events.
Ooh, I like where you're going.
As you mosey on around the golf course, then surely if you extrapolate that out, then golf rounds are a series of uncorrelated, unrelated events. So for me, and golf's one of those sports that you can jump on, and you'll hear the pros talk about this. Tiger talked about this a lot, and Earl Woods actually spoke to Tiger about this a lot. If you sort of read some of the stuff that the conversations that they had, and what they used to do, they used to go out in the practice fairway, and if Tiger had a bad round, a bad practice session, a bad warm up, Earl used to say something along the lines of, did you achieve your goal? And Tiger went, what do you mean? It's like, did you warm up? And Tiger went, yes. He said, well, that's it. That's what you achieved. You went out there to warm up. You didn't go out there to hit good shots in tournament conditions. You went out there to warm your body up and to get ready for the golf round.
True.
And that's it.
True.
So for me, I've gone out and in my warm-up hit the most horrid shots and went out and just absolutely striped it on the golf course. And yet I've absolutely striped it in practice, in the warm-up, and then gone out and hit it sideways on the golf course. So again, golf being a series of unrelated events, similar to what you like on the golf course, similar to your practice round to what you like on the golf course, similar to consecutive golf rounds. I don't think one has really anything to do with the other. It's just golf.
Damn, that's some wisdom. I'm going to take this a step forward for you as well, Andy Walker, and throw out a few words of wisdom from friend of the show, Dr. Raymond Pryor, from Golf Beneath the Surface. And Pilgrims, if you haven't read that book, get that book in your hands. Also, it's another good podcast series. Actually, they don't release that many episodes, but when they do, Chase Cooper and Raymond Pryor, they certainly throw some wisdom. And one of the things that they often talk about is a concept called stable confidence. Now, stable confidence is born out of being on time and on target. So
Yep.
having your mind now, not in the future, not in the past, and having your focus on what you're trying to do, not necessarily on the outcome that you're trying to get. And I think that why this is relevant is because those rounds beforehand and the warm-up is, what are you trying to do with that? If you're basing your confidence on how well you hit the ball in the preceding rounds, or the scores you got in the preceding rounds, or how well you hit the ball in the warm-up, that's a sure recipe for fragile confidence, which will shatter as soon as you put a bad swing on it on the golf course. But if you're building stable confidence, which is going through your routine, doing your warm-up, doing all of those things, and that gives you a chance actually to deal with adversity during the round. So,
So I think it comes back to the concept of focusing on your process.
It does.
Rather than focusing on the outcome. And if you follow your process and, if you do that on every single shot in a round of golf, you're going to put your best foot forward and be in the best position to be able to have the lowest score that you can. But it doesn't mean you're going to have a good score. It just means that you've followed your process and the outcome will be whatever the outcome is.
Oh, there you go. I think that's all you need to know. Hopefully that helps, Lucas. Let me know how you go, or let us know how you go in your next tournament. But that's awesome. So happy to hear that you got in the field and that you had a good experience. And I think that, the only way is up from there, which is amazing. Now, before we get onto the topic at hand, Andy Walker, we do very, very quickly need to run through the yearly championships results for the month of June.
Yes.
Now, I know you're desperate to talk about your high performance center, and I'm desperate to hear about it, but I do need to take you through what happened in June. So, in sixth place, scoring 1 point towards his yearly championship tally with 31 Stableford points, which Pilgrims, those points were tallied up at the Longyard Golf Club in Tamworth during the New South Wales Mid-Amateur Tournament.
I know who that is.
So thank you very much, Andy Walker. That was me. It's pretty exciting. In fifth place, actually in fifth place is daylight, but in fifth place in terms of scoring points with 35 Stableford points, and getting 2 points to his yearly championship tally, in fact getting off the mark, breaking the duck as they say, is Zeb Daniel from the USA, United States of America.
Nice.
There you go,
35
Zeb.
points. Wow.
It's only getting him in fifth.
That's tough. That's like good golf. I mean, I
It is
think
good golf.
Last month, I think 33 and 32 were getting fairly high up in the rankings, but we're up to fifth place at 35.
We are.
It's tough.
In fourth place, it won't surprise you to hear that it was with 36 points, is that man we just spoke of, Lucas Anderson.
Nice. Well done, Lucas.
With, 3 points to his yearly championship tally, which is amazing, which takes us to third place with 37 Stableford points. It's only 5 points to his yearly championship tally. I will call him our former leader of the yearly championship.
Ooh, okay.
Which is James Armstrong from the United Kingdom, or England, British Isles, Britain. In second place for the month with 38 Stableford points, 7 points towards his yearly championship tally, is Donnie the Burglar from Bathurst.
Donnie. It's a great round of golf from Donnie. 38 points.
Apparently won the comp.
Okay. Wow. Surely the handicapper's got to have something to say about that.
Yeah, it has. It's come down a couple, which is good to see. But in first place for the month of June with 42 Stableford points.
And that is daylight second.
Yeah. 10 points to his yearly championship tally. Our new leader by 1 point is the winner of the Missing Links Masters, Big K Kerrod from Dubbo.
Good on you, Kay. That is a great round of golf.
Crowd goes wild. So there you go. That's the update. So Big K in front on 35 points in total, followed by Mr. Armstrong on 34 points. And quite frankly, Daylight in third. I feel like the winner is going to be one of the two of them unless someone has an absolutely ridiculous back end of the year. So there you go.
I'm still stuck on last month's tally, unfortunately.
You are. Which is, let me just add it up, 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0. You're on 0 points anyway.
Yeah. It's pretty easy to add up my score.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. I like that.
It's pretty
Keeping it simple.
Yep. So anyway, that's the update on the yearly championship. 20-minute intro. We're ready to crack on with our topic.
Excellent. Love it.
So over to you, Mr. Walker. What's been happening in the High Performance Centre?
Well, I've had a few challenges with the High Performance Centre, as the pilgrims know. The first thing that was the challenge is the Garmin R10, which it was a good device and it's good outside. It was also good when I had my high performance set up in the garage, which predominantly was sort of wood brick, concrete floor, but that was still fine.
I think it's an outdoor device. I've got to be honest. I do think it's an outdoor device.
I mean, it worked well for the short game. Sort of inside sort of that, 100 meters, 900 meters, I felt it was worthwhile. And I've said a number of times that I didn't trust it with full shots. There was just something not right, that it didn't quite give me the accuracy that I wanted. And even though I used the RCT Titleist Pro V1s, I hooked it up to the Awesome Golf software, calibrated every time before I used it, because I watched a number of YouTube videos to see if I could get the best out of it. But even after that, I still didn't feel as though it gave me great numbers, certainly for a full swing.
Yeah.
But it was useful for pitching and those, and I, between 50 and 100 meters, I found it really, really useful. The other challenge I had was the net that I had was just not high enough, which then, given the combination of I was trying to use the R10 for short game, but the net wasn't high enough for me to really be comfortable hitting. Yeah. And certainly I've got a fifth. So my wedges are 58, 54, 50, and then 46. Yep. So I could use the 46 for shots sort of, 80 to 100 meters. I could use the 54 for shorter pitching, sort of between that sort of 40 to 60 to 70 meters, but I could never use the 50 and the 58 in those ranges, which is sort of really, the main clubs that I use. Yeah.
I'm fighting the same battle at the moment. I've got exactly the same issue. And part of the problem is that the R10 needs to be about, what is it? It's about 7 foot from the net, which is 2.1 meters.
Yep.
And so to be that, also the R10 needs to be that from the ball, and the ball needs to be that again from the net. Sorry, I should explain that better. The problem with that is at over 2 meters from the net, with your standard nets, which is they're usually about 6 or 7 feet high, you're going to clear it comfortably. So that's the issue I'm faced with at the moment as well. I have a different solution to what you've come up with, but anyway, I feel your pain, I guess is the point.
Yeah. So the net that I had was actually not even higher than me. Now I'm 1.8 meters. So and it sort of had a bit of a bow in the middle when you sort of hook it up to each of the posts on the side. So depending on sort of where you're measuring it from, but certainly the top of the net was about eye level for me in right in the center, and that's just not high enough for short game to be effective in what you're doing. So I was always trying to hit punch shots with my 54 and my pitching wedge, for those distances, just making sure I didn't get it over the net.
Yes.
So when I moved to the new place, new high performance center, which is effectively a Colorbond shed in the backyard, the one thing that I found very, very quickly is the Garmin R10 just didn't work. Right. So the radar-based systems around metal, just not good.
No good.
And I found that out, very, very quickly. The first or second time I used it, I was just like, why is this not working? And did a bit of research, and that was the reason why. So the R10 got obsolete very, very quickly with the new setup. So probably about maybe a month, 6 weeks ago, I decided to sell the R10, which I actually sold to a local guy, which was good. And I invested in the Square launch monitor. When we had Joe Legowski on the show, he talked about the Square, and I've watched a number of his reviews with the Square. He covers it quite a bit on his YouTube channel. So it got me a bit motivated to get out there and get a Square device. Now, the second thing I did was pack up the old net, and I bought a Full Swing golf net from our good friends at Kaizen Golf.
Outstanding.
And they sent that up to me, and I put that together. It actually has the net is I should say the hitting impact mat is about 1.9 meters high, but then there's a net that's 2.7 meters high. So it's actually quite high. It goes almost to the roof of the high performance center.
Perfect.
And it also, what it does, it actually curves back towards me as well. So while the net is probably a good 10 feet away, also I should say the impact screen is about 10 feet from my hitting mat, because just above the impact screen, it then, the metal frame then curves back towards me and is 2.7 meters high. It actually, I probably, from where I am, would be struggling to get a 58 degree over it if I opened the face up and took a full swing. I mean, you'd need to almost,
you'd have to be going up at like 60
vertically.
Degrees or something.
Yeah,
or more.
Yeah. So it's not going to happen. So I was pretty happy with that setup, and it took me a little while to set everything up and get everything as I needed to. The other thing that I invested in was I got the kids a new TV for their rumpus area, and the old TV.
So generous of you, Andy Walker.
Yeah, there was no hidden agenda there, no ulterior motive. The old TV, which was a 43-inch Samsung high definition screen, I bought a TV stand for it, and that ended up being out in the high performance center for me to connect my laptop up to, and then obviously the Square launch monitor connected up to the laptop, and I can now watch my shots on a TV screen, a 43-inch TV screen. So from going from the R10 to the Square launch monitor, and then from the old hitting net, which was sort of about 1.7 meters high, to now having the impact screen 1.9 and then the net 2.7 high, I can hit whatever clubs I want. I can hit my like a full 58 degree, full 50 degree wedge into the net, and it handles it with an ease. Doesn't even get close to getting over the top. So now I'm pretty much unlimited with what I can do and what I can practice in the high performance center. And the other thing, and the one thing that I haven't done, which I fully intend to do, is the Square's got quite a good putting feature where you can actually get some data around your putting. So that's one thing that
That's good.
I've used the full swing mode, and I've used the random short game practice between sort of 50 to 100 meters. I went out sort of today and used had a bit of a trial session with that function, and they're both awesome. But I haven't used the putting feature yet, which I'm really keen to start getting some stats around my putting as well.
That's amazing. I'm excited to hear about the putting side of the Square. That is very cool.
Yeah, yeah. So the Square was actually really easy to set up. There is the stick. I forget what they call it, but there's the stick which you use without, like when you.
This sounds ominously like the stack stick.
It's not a stack stick.
It's a square. Is it a square stick?
A square stick, yeah. It actually the end part of it is actually a square stick. I should.
Oh, so good.
I should sort of look it up to see what it's called. But yeah, that's if you don't want to actually use your club and hit a golf ball, you can actually use this device to simulate golf shots, and it's a little bit a bit random. I don't know if I'll ever use it. I haven't used it at this point in time. I just pulled it out of the box and looked at it and went, yeah, that's an interesting inclusion in. I guess if you're using it in like a lounge area or inside your home, it would be useful. I'm not sure if I'll ever use it. But certainly,
it sounds perfect for a golf weekend away.
Yeah, I'm not convinced that I'm going to take it for a golf weekend away, but after a few beverages and the like,
what could go wrong?
I'm not convinced that's the best option.
I feel like one of our early episodes called "The Incident" might answer the question of what could possibly go wrong.
Yeah, and that I hadn't even had a drink, so that can't imagine what I could imagine what could go wrong. But the launch monitor itself is actually a lot bit smaller than what I anticipated. It's actually quite a compact device.
Okay.
I did get the metal housing just in case, there's any you never know. Been there, done that.
Yeah.
Because it actually, when you're hitting shots, it actually sits a little bit in front of your ball position, so it sits to the side and a little bit in front to be able to capture the shot data. So you do need special golf balls. So they Square do provide you with 3 of their own manufactured golf balls, which have the black dots on them. You can also use the TaylorMade Pix golf balls as well. So I did buy a dozen TaylorMade Pix balls.
Can you not just draw dots on your ball with a Sharpie?
We did talk about that with Joe, and he wasn't convinced that was going to work, but potentially.
I'd like you to investigate this because
it
seems weird that you can't if it's optical.
Yeah. The other thing that you've got to do, you've got to put a little sticker around around the shaft of the golf club that you're using. And I did actually go into the High Performance Center today to use it with a short game, and started using the launch monitor without the sticker around it. And funnily enough, it didn't work. And I was going, why is this not working?
Right. So the sticker is important.
The sticker is important to get that club data. But yeah, the unit itself is quite small, which is good, but it's really easy to set up. As soon as I downloaded the software and set up my account, it automatically connected. It connected to my Wi-Fi, and it was a dream. Very, very simple to set up. The little alignment rod in the back of the launch monitor, it's really important to set that up. Obviously, you need to understand where your alignment is. I've found it a little bit difficult to get out. It's a little bit sort of sticky in the back of the launch monitor, so it took me a little while, a couple of goes to get out. But when I finally got it out, it very, very easy to work. You just go back into the software, and there's the alignment button that you just sort of press and get the launch monitor and the alignment stick to align correctly, and then away you go. The other really good thing about it is that it gives you a rectangular hitting zone, and it actually tells you both on the screen, and you can actually have a voice saying, that you're good to go for this hitting zone. So again, it's really, really easy to be able to get your ball in the right hitting zone. As I said, it shows you on the screen, and then you're just ready to go. So all in all, I found it to be really, really easy to set up and to get going. It probably took me maybe, from being in the box and not having taken it out to getting it all out, turning it on, downloading the software, and being ready to hit my first golf shot. It took me maybe 20 minutes. Mm-hmm. That was awesome. It. So very, very straightforward.
Fantastic.
So yeah, and then in regards to the performance, I found the performance to be really consistent. I hit yesterday. I was practicing with a 7-iron with my full shots. Found it to be pretty accurate. I didn't have any. It did miss a couple of shots. It did miss a couple of swings, but the swings that it did pick up, I thought it was really accurate. In it would sort of what I would expect from the shots that I hit. So I don't see any issues with the accuracy of the device from my first experience with it. So certainly a very different experience to what I've had with full shots with the Garmin R10.
Yeah, well, that's encouraging. That's super encouraging, particularly in the environment that you're working in, because obviously the R10 just wasn't coping with all the metal around there. And I imagine that any Doppler radar unit is going to struggle in what's essentially a tin shed. So did you consider any other units before going down the
I did. I do quite like the Mevo Plus. And that's obviously a Doppler radar unit, and that's got a lot of really good data, and I know that it works really, really well when you're not inside a tin shed.
Yeah.
However, obviously, and the other part of it as well is that the Mevo Plus is also a lot more expensive than what the Square is. It's about sort of 3 or 4 times the price, depending on if you get the add-ons or not. I think in Australia on some of the websites they're around sort of $3,500 for the base unit, and then you're looking at another. I think $700-800 for the face data, and then I think the pro package is another $1,100-1,200 on top of that. So it's not a cheap unit by any stretch of the imagination. It ends up being about $5,500 by the time if you want the full sort of spec of software and capability in the Mevo Plus. So for me, and to be honest with you, I don't need all of that. I don't think that that's useful. I think if you're a teaching professional and you want that data for teaching and to be able to understand what your students are doing, that's fine. But for me, it's sort of the way I play golf, I would probably get more with the analysis by paralysis by analysis if I had that much data about my golf swing. I mean, they're only sort of the basic data points that I'm really interested in looking at, and basically that's swing path I'm really interested in, spin rate I'm really interested in. The face, whether face angle at impact. I'm interested in obviously distance. I'm interested in and ball flight, which is good, and maybe launch angle as well. But apart from that, I mean that's really the basics of what I want out of the data points I want out of a launch monitor, and Square does that really, really easily.
Perfect. That's exciting.
Yeah, yeah. Now, the second thing that I did with it was the randomized short game practice.
Ooh, I'm
which
excited to hear about this.
Yeah, yeah. Which I used my 58 degree for it, and I put the randomized zones between 40 meters and 80 meters, and again found it worked exceptionally well.
Awesome.
I found to start off with, I sort of got into a little bit of a rhythm of just rapid fire. And I think that's really easy to get into, where you just, you hit a ball into the net, then you pull it back, you get into your hitting zone, and you just hit it again. So for the first probably half a dozen shots, that's what I was doing. And I wasn't actually getting that good of results, and I was getting a little bit frustrated. But then I took a bit of a break, took a step back for sort of, a minute or so, and went, all right, well, what would I be doing out in the golf course? How can I simulate my experience out in the golf course so I can get the most out of this practice session? And I basically then simulated my full golf shot, well, not full golf shots, my pitch shots on a golf course, where I took a couple of practice swings. I went back, focused on my target line, focused on, how far I was going to hit it, and I'm still using the clock system. So where on that clock system my backswing was going to get to, and my results dramatically improved. And I found it really, really useful, because I guess the downside of it is that it only it's 5 meter intervals, so it's either like 40 or 45 or 50 or 55. So it doesn't actually. I'd like to see it go in 1 meter intervals, which I think would certainly be a lot.
Is that for do you mean for the target distance that it's spitting out randomly?
Yeah, target distance. Not interestingly though, not for the shot distance. So the shot distance will give you to a 1 decimal point. So they can actually do it, and they can actually measure it
That's
to
the software
1
upgrade.
decimal point.
Yeah.
But the software upgrade, it needs a software upgrade to be able to, say 52 meters or 68 meters.
Get on to the support team and make the suggestion.
Yeah, well, I know
they might do it.
I've watched a couple of Joe's videos, and I know they've received that feedback previously. So hopefully that software upgrade isn't too far in the works. So yeah, but all in all, my initial experience and my initial engagement with the device is that it is going to be excellent. I really, really like it. I really, really rate it. I think there's going to be, especially the short game randomized practice, I think that's really going to sharpen up my short game inside of 100 meters.
Amazing.
Yep.
I might have to consider this, because I think I'm going to have to upgrade from the R10 at some point.
Yes. Yep. Yep. And what I had a bit of a think about how I'm going to approach and the use of the Square launch monitor, because I don't think I'll use it every single session, because we've still got the golf swing replay app, which is a really useful device, but I'm not convinced that using those at the same time is going to be the best way to go about it. So what I'm probably going to do is just to change up my practice to one being purely a technical session, which I'll use the Golf Swing Replay app for that, and then I'll have more of a practice range, shot shape, sort of golf simulator type of practice sessions. So I just need to split up my practice sessions a little bit, and maybe plan them a little bit more between the more golf simulator sessions and the technical sessions. But I'm not in that first experience, I'm not convinced that it's the best use of time to be able to combine both.
Yeah, fair enough. That makes complete sense. Are you going to go down the path of projector and full simulator setup at some stage now that you've got the Square working, or are you happy with the screen on the wall?
At this stage, I'm not going to. As I said, the high performance in is effectively a tin shed at the moment, so it's not waterproof. And the ColourBond, it basically sits on the slab, which means that the base of the shed is not waterproof. Now I've worked out a bit of a plan to make that waterproof, but in the end, I'm actually talking with my wife at the appropriate time of actually getting rid of the shed itself and putting maybe something like a granny flat or a single room
high performance studio.
Yeah, that whenever it is that we do sell the property, it can be sold as like a teenager's retreat or something similar, but something more than just a ColourBond shed.
So you're thinking something with, say, bathroom, kitchen, maybe a place to sleep as well as a place to practice. You're not going to need to go in the house at this stage.
No, unfortunately, the space isn't quite big enough for that setup. It's 6 by 3.5 meters, so it's big enough to have the sim as well as sort of a space, and I've got my dumbbells and dumbbell rack and bench as well as my cross trainer. So it's more of a golf simulator / fitness room rather than a full outhouse where I can go and sleep if I need to.
Like just if the training session went too long, as an example.
Yeah, no, I can't see that ever happening. But certainly, a fully enclosed, air-conditioned, because again, during summer, I went out there during some of the hot weather we had in summer, and it does get pretty warm in a ColourBond shed. So I've also invested in an industrial fan, which does cool things down a little bit, which is great. But I would love to have it fully enclosed as a sim room where I've got air conditioning and something a bit more comfortable than a tin shed.
Does sound exciting though. It's the next generation. This is a major upgrade to the High Performance Centre, and I'm just thinking back to some of the images that we shared right at the very beginning when we first set these things up. And
yes, yep.
Where it's grown to from here. I think it'd be great to film a little bit of a tour of the High Performance Centre for sharing on the socials. I think the Pilgrims would enjoy that. Andy Walker.
Yeah, absolutely.
It'd be worth sharing that once this episode goes to air. That's exciting. Good work.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm really, really pleased with how it's worked out. In answer to your question around the full sim, though, I am going to do that at some stage, but just not yet. The next plan, and probably the last thing I'm going to do to the current setup is I've got the foam interlocking mats, the ones that are about sort of 0.5 meter by 0.5 meter that interlock.
Yep.
I've been down to Bunnings and got some of those so that my ball's not just landing on concrete. But what I'll do, I'll buy a few more of those and then get some artificial turf and then glue the artificial turf to the top of that mat. So I'm the ball's dropping on artificial turf, and that's where I'll have my putting mat as well. So I'll have a full sort of artificial turf mat setup.
Perfect.
Which will also be impact resistant, because that's also one of the things I was a bit concerned about is having everything just on the concrete slab. It doesn't have a lot of impact resistance, so looking at putting some matting underneath it just so it absorbs the impact a little bit more, because as we know, my fragile wrist at this point in time is it wouldn't be ideal as a hard impact.
No, I think that's a good strategy.
Through the hitting zone.
I think it's a good strategy. Very good. Do you want to hear what's afoot for the High Performance Centre Central West, Andy Walker?
Yeah. What have you got?
There's a few plans.
You got a full sim set up in the works? So
what I'm looking at the moment is a few things. So similar issue with the net. I can't really do much wedge work in the existing setup because the net is too low, and my walls, unfortunately, are gyprock or drywall, or whatever you want to call it. So the golf ball's going to punch straight through that if I miss the net, which is a bit of a risk.
Not ideal.
I've also been kind of mucking around with whereabouts in the garage space I need the setup to go to be able to swing at it and to try and have it as usable for as often as possible and not take up all of the space of the triple garage. So I've come up with a solution. It'll be in one particular corner. What I will have to do is trim one of the rails that the garage door rolls on, because when old mate installed the garage door for the golf cart in that end, he's put the extra long rails on it.
Right.
And that would prevent me swinging a driver in that space. But I've got probably not quite 2 feet, like probably around about 50 centimetres of rail that I could cut off, and it's not going to make any difference. So he's really overcooked it. So that'll sort that out from a space perspective. But what I've decided to do, because I was looking at getting a net similar to what you've invested in. That was one option. And then I thought, well, if I'm going to spend that much money, maybe I'll also look at potentially doing an actual simulator enclosure. So, the big impact screen with the curtains around the top and either side. And, looking around at those sorts of things, you look at number of suppliers. You can look at Kaizen, you can look at Bayside, you can look at 24/7 Golf, but generally speaking, they all come in at around the $1,800 to $2,000 mark, Australian dollars.
Yep.
Which is more than I want to spend at the moment, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah. Just as a comparison, the Kaizen full swing golf net is $500.
Yep.
So bit of a difference between
massive difference.
And the full golf enclosure, and one of the reasons why I didn't go that way is just purely for the fact that the high performance in it's not waterproof, and with the material on the side, I mean, that's just a haven for mold and
for sure,
all the rest. So
that makes sense.
Enclosure, the enclosure that you're looking at. To get one built out for the same price would be pretty cool.
Well, this is what I've looked at. So I did a little bit of online research with the DIY golf simulator enclosures that people are putting up. There's a lot of really good information out there, which is interesting. I don't mind getting on the tools from time to time. I don't have a problem with that. So I'm happy to jump onto a project. But in doing my research, I've stumbled across a couple of interesting products. So the first thing and the most important thing is the impact screen itself, because that's going to dictate the dimensions of what you need to build. So looking at the space that I've got, I didn't want to go the 3 metre wide by 2.6 metre high, which is kind of pretty standard. That's a little bit too wide for the space that I've got. So I found an impact screen which is 2.5 metres by 2.5 metres square.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Which fits perfectly in the space. And, it's a good height, it's a good width, and I think it will absolutely do everything that I need it to do in the space without dominating, because there is a door in that side wall of the garage that if I went the 3 metre, it would block the door. So the 2.5 comes beautifully flush to the edge of the door frame, which is
nice.
Which is nice. It fills that section of wall. 2.5 high, could go slightly higher, but 2.5 high is fine, particularly when you've got the roof coming out from it. So I've ordered that impact screen, and that was only $200 for the impact screen. It's getting shipped from the UK apparently. Also comes with 20 elastic grommets that you basically the little elastic bands with the plastic ball on the end of it. They go through the holes and around the poles, and that's how you attach it for all 4 sides. And then doing the research, I also stumbled across so for the frame, for building the frame, you just can use the 1-inch diameter galvanized pipe that you can buy at Bunnings, Mitre 10, I assume Home Depot or any other hardware store around the place. But you can also then buy on Amazon this pack of corner pieces specifically to turn 1-inch pipe into the frame for an impact screen enclosure for a golf setup. And so they work just like, your little pipe connectors that they're on their 3-way, 2-way and 4-way, depending on what you need for your various corners. Pipe just slides in, you turn a little screw to tighten it in, and that's it. That's all you got to do. So you just got to make sure you get your pipes cut to the right length, slide them in, tighten the screw, and it's locked.
So it's like it would work similar to say like a plumbing PVC join.
Yeah, essentially. Essentially. You know when you go camping and you've got your tent poles that are telescopic and you slide them to the right thing, and then there's the screw like with the little triangle bit that you tighten that up. It's that. It's exactly that.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So it's super simple. The only tricky bit is the pipes come in either 1 metre or 3 metre lengths. So that's a good thing. So I buy the 3 metre lengths for the, round the side of the frame, cut them off a little bit longer than 2.5 because you want a slight gap at either side for joining your screen. And then the 1 metre pipes will provide the depth, for the screen from the impact screen to the front where your curtain goes.
Yep.
So that should all be relatively simple to put together. Waiting on components to arrive, and I'll put the whole thing together. And at that point, I think that'll be a pretty good setup. And I'll get out of the whole thing of building an impact screen for probably between $400 to $500.
Nice,
and that'll be a full simulator enclosure.
Yeah. So will you then go the projector? And look at getting sort of a projector mounted, or how are you going to go about the? I'm assuming you're going to go down the line of getting another launch monitor and
that will
upgrade the R10.
That will follow probably down the track once I've got all of this sorted out and squirreled away and everything else, and then I think I'll be pointing a finger squarely at Father's Day / Christmas for a square system.
So pointing the finger squarely at square. Is that what you said?
Yeah, that's square.
Excellent.
We're doing that. I think that will be the go. I do think that's the future. Yes, I do want to put a projector setup on it. I don't know if I'll mount from the ceiling. I might, but I might not because I might want to move it around and do various things as well until I'm set on that. In the setup that I've got, from where I hit just next to that on the area that I will be facing, there's some shelving there and PowerPoints, and that's a perfect temporary setup to put a projector on shooting at the screen.
Nice.
It'll do the job. So long as you've got a projector that can change its kind of, when you shoot from an angle, you can straighten it out. Most projectors can do that these days. But I think that'll be a pretty good sort of pretty entry-level setup. That'll be a massive, massive step up from where it began, just with the $120 net and the 30 centimetre square piece of synthetic turf that I started out with. And I'll do similar things with the flooring, is what you're talking about as well. And I think like that'll just be mint. Yeah.
Well, I mean, those pack of 4 of those sort of interlocking mats, I think they're about $10. So you can build one out pretty decently for like $50-$60. You can build actually quite a large area. And as I said, then you put your artificial turf and you can just glue the artificial turf straight on the top of it, and that'll work really, really well for the floor of the impact screen.
And if I get it all with the right dimensions, then when I want to pack it up, I'll simply just stand that up against the impact screen and basically close the whole thing up.
Nice. So what's the time frame? Obviously, you've ordered the impact screen.
Yeah, so screen's on the way. It'll take a week or two to arrive. I want to have a look at it and measure it and everything and make sure that it matches the dimensions that it claims to be. Before I start creating a frame. So I think give me about a month and we should be up and running.
Okay. Nice.
It is exciting.
I'll look forward to seeing the end result, because there's nothing better than to upgrade your high performance center.
There really is. And by upgrading your high performance center, you're upgrading your game. And by upgrading your game, you're getting more enjoyment out of the game. Correct. You're probably being a better person, more fun to be around as a result of playing better golf. So really, this money that we're spending, and for anyone out there thinking, should I invest in this setup? You're not doing it for yourself. Okay. What you're doing is you're investing in a better version of yourself that is going to bring a lot more joy to your wife, partner, friends, kids, to everyone around you. So really, you're investing in them, and it's an investment to give them a better life.
Yeah, yeah. And if anyone tries that angle, just let us know how it goes.
Good luck.
I think we're both of us are very lucky that we've got supportive partners, and it's been pretty good with the upgrades within reason, obviously, but there's been a lot of support with that because there's
That's
nothing
necessary.
better. Yeah, there's nothing better than getting out there with some decent kit and doing some practice. And I must admit now that, I mean, I'm now about half an hour away from my home club, which means that I struggle to get there really sort of any more than sort of once a week. So to have that in the backyard and just to have that within an arm's reach of just being able to go out and do some practice is pretty cool.
It's amazing.
It will allow me to improve my game significantly more than the opportunity that I would have to have if I was going to the range or something like that. And with range balls and the rest, I mean, I'm going to go through the cost of having a high performance center very, very quickly on the range.
Oh, so you're going down the path now of this is a money saving investment.
Correct.
Yes. Yes.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, I mean, what do range balls cost? I mean, anything depending on a mid bucket's about $12. I think large bucket's about 16
to
bucks.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. So I mean, you go to the range over what's that over a 6 month, 12-month period.
If you go to the range twice a week for a year, right? That is what,
So
$1,000, $2,000 rough, $1,500, something like that.
$1,500. So say 50 weeks a year.
Not to mention
go to
the petrol expense.
Yeah.
Parking fines, speeding fines.
No, probably shouldn't be getting those, but anyway, if we just stick to the even just the range balls, 50. What's that? 50 weeks a year times 2 is 100. 100 times 15 is $1,500 a year. You're going to save that money many times over the life of the high performance center. So, yeah, absolutely,
it's an investment.
It's actually an investment. It's a cost saving. There's many angles.
Makes you a better person. You're at home more.
Yep.
Oh, so many reasons. So many reasons. Who are we convincing right now, Andy Walker?
Each other for one.
Yeah. No, I'm all in. Excellent. All righty. Well, that's a good update. It's good to hear stories from the High Performance Centre. We always enjoy that. And Pilgrims, let us know how you're going with your own high performance centres. I think it'd be good to get some information there on the Facebook page. So jump on there. The Missing Links Golf Show podcast Facebook group is what you should join. And at that point, share some photos. Andy Walker, hopefully you'll share some video, a bit of a tour of the HPC.
Yeah, nice. I'll get some videos up. Might sort of show how the High Performance Center is going. A couple of shots with the Square launch monitor. See how the randomized short game practice is going, and how I use that. So yeah, we'll get a couple of things up on our socials just to have a bit of a look at.
I may start filming a documentary on the building of the High Performance Centre Central West.
I like it.
For release once it's complete. See how we go.
Nice.
Stay tuned. And on that note, Andy Walker, is there any other words of wisdom that you've got for our pilgrims?
What I would say is get out in your High Performance Centre and rock out, pilgrims.
I love it. Thanks for listening to us today. We love hearing from our pilgrims, so please reach out to us through any of the links in the show notes. We know golf is hard, so we hope we can help you shoot better scores and inspire you to keep trying. Rock on, Pilgrims.